E ngā iwi tēnā koutou katoa. Paraparaumu residents have been left shaken and picking up the pieces after a tornado tore through this morning. Police and fire services are responding to the aftermath of the weather event that struck at around 5:30, downing trees and damaging roofs. Fire and emergency have also confirmed that at least one person was injured in the incident. AM reporter James Fleury is on the ground and joins us. James, tell us what kind of damage has been done there.
Morena Orini, well, residents have described the true horror they had to endure when this significant tornado struck two residential streets here in Paraparaumu. One resident said it felt like an earthquake, while another told me she was lucky to get out of her home alive without any injuries after it smashed windows and tore a large section of the roof off. Fire and emergency crews are continuing to assess the damage at this stage. They say at least 8 properties have been impacted that they know of, but the true picture will not yet be known until they get a drone up into the air to get a true aerial picture of what is going on here in Paraparaumu. I spoke to several residents whose homes were directly hit by the tornado. Here is what they had to say.
It was horrifying because my son came tearing into my room because it woke him up, and he's a deep sleeper, and I've never seen my son so scared in his life. But his first thought, funnily enough, was that our cat was okay, that was outside. But yeah, he was just absolutely terrified.
It felt like the house was going to be lifted up and I'll be thrown around like a rag doll. The lights all went out, so we couldn't see nothing, absolutely nothing. It was pitch dark. Stood in the middle of the hallway and pretty much just prayed.
James, we understand a person's been injured. What more can you tell us about that?
Morena Orini, well, we know this is a 16-year-old boy who is currently in hospital with injuries after his sleep out that he was staying in overnight was completely torn apart by this tornado. We got an inside look at Newshub and we saw that only one of the 4 walls were remaining. The other 3 sections of these walls were completely blown across the road onto neighbouring properties. Fire and emergency say this 16-year-old is currently in hospital and he's getting his injuries looked at as we speak.
James, tēnā koe. That's AM reporter James Fleury live from Paraparaumu. Now, with the sun shining bright, residents are getting a better understanding of what damage has been done to their properties. Resident Sam Dunnett told AM the weather explosion lasted only a couple of minutes, enough though to tear through his property and tear it apart.
It seems just everyone in our area, the neighbour, he got a bit of roof come through and hit the front of his house, a few smashed windows. A few other neighbours smashed windows and roofing iron in their backyards.
This morning's tornado in Paraparaumu is the 3rd to hit Aotearoa, New Zealand in 3 days. The clean-up is continuing in parts of Tāmaki Makaurau and Tasman after roofs were torn away and trees were uprooted over the long weekend. Motueka resident Brent Pickworth was driving near Mapua when the twister hit on Monday.
There was road signs completely ripped out of the ground, not broken, just ripped out of the ground. And then there was trees that were just literally adult pine trees that were just snapped like matchsticks. And it was quite mind-boggling, actually.
Frequency of tornadoes may feel higher than usual. NIWA forecaster Chris Brandolino believes it's just a coincidence.
It is unusual. It's not unheard of. We average about 7 to 10 moderate to strong tornadoes per year across Aotearoa, New Zealand. There's a lot of variability. I mean, some years will be active, e.g. now, and some, some years, I should say, will be inactive.
More than 100 homes across the country are in need of repairs after the surge of twisters.